You're legally carrying. You walk into a business. There's a small no firearms sign on the door. Now stop. The moment you walk through that door, one right loses. The only question is, which one are you willing to bet your life on? Are you violating someone's rights, or is that sign trying to override yours? This is one of the most argued about questions in gun culture, and today we're going to argue both sides. Chapter 1. The property owner's argument. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. If rights matter at all, property rights have to count. A business owner may or may not own that building, but they pay the rent. They insure the space. They're responsible for employees and customers inside. If something goes wrong, it's their name on the lawsuit. That gives them the authority over what happens on their property, even when people disagree with the rules. We already accept this logic everywhere else. No shirts, no shoes, no smoking, no intoxication, no service. So from their point of view, a no firearms sign isn't always political. It's about controlling risk. They don't know you, they don't know your training, and they don't know whether you're the safest person in a room or the biggest liability. From that angle, the argument is simple. If you don't like the rules, you can leave. No one is forcing you to be there. That's how private property works. That's how capitalism works. And if ownership means anything at all, it has to include the rights to set conditions for entry. So yes, property rights matter. But here's the problem nobody likes to sit with. Property rights have never stopped violence. Chapter 2. The gun carrier's argument. Now flip the red dot. Self-defense isn't a lifestyle choice. It's not fashion. It's not a hobby. It's the right to survive and to protect the people you love. And here's the reality every carrier understands. Criminals don't follow rules. The only people disarmed by signs are the ones already obeying the law. That sign doesn't create safety. It creates disparity. The business isn't promising protection. They aren't providing armed security. They aren't guaranteeing you make it home. They're just asking you to disarm and hope nothing bad happens. For people who've been victims before, that's not a reasonable request. Look, I trust only 4 people. 2 of them are dead and 1 of them is me. Now from this side, the argument sounds like this. You can own the building, but you don't own my right to defend my life. Chapter 3. Where the law actually lands. This is where the debate gets messy, because in the United States, there's no single rule for no firearms signs. In many states, the sign itself doesn't make you a criminal. What matters is what happens next. If you're noticed, if you're asked to leave, and if you refuse, that's when lawful carry turns into trespass, and depending on a state, prosecutors may stack firearm-related charges on top of that. Other states go the opposite direction. In those places, the sign has full legal force. Step past it while armed and the violation exists the moment your foot crosses the threshold. Same sign, same behavior, completely different consequences. The inconsistency is the real danger, not because one side is evil, but because the rules change every time you cross a state line. And most people don't realize it until something goes wrong. Some people argue the Second Amendment should override every sign everywhere. Others act like constitutional rights stop at the door. The law doesn't fully agree with either extreme. Here's what actually gets people arrested. It's not the gun, it's escalation. Most carriers don't get arrested for quietly carrying. They get arrested for arguing with an employee, for refusing to leave when a manager shows up, for turning a request into a confrontation. On the other side, a lot of businesses create confusion with tiny signs, unclear language, and policies their own employees can't explain or enforce. That gray zone is where everything goes sideways. Because both things can be true at the same time. A property owner has the right to set rules on their property, and a person has the right to defend their life. The mistake is pretending one right automatically erases the other. If you want to carry comfortably and discreetly, check out our concealed carry athletic shorts and sweatpants linked below, or head to relaxfittactical.com to see our full lineup. And even if you don't carry, we've got shirts that are guaranteed to start conversations. Hit like, leave a comment, tell us where you land on this subject, and don't be lame. Subscribe.